Hello again, Floyd here, and with another moderated video. This audio recording was recorded on July 13th of 2014. This is October the 5th, 2025. So that's 11 years ago that this audio message was recorded. And this one is, the title of this is, Are You Full-Time or Are You Part-Time? Let's hear what I had to say.
Okay, we're back again for third one tonight. I'm going to get 3 in tonight. Gotta work tomorrow. So we're gonna, oh yeah, okay, alrighty. Okay. You know, everybody has jobs out there, and you either have a full-time job or a part-time job. You work for somebody, right? Excuse me, the more you put in, the more you get. You know, you get advances when you
I don't know if I said it, but it's October the 5th at 1:43 in the morning, right now.
your dedication and your work ethic and things like that. You know, your company rewards you. I was a business owner, right? I would reward my staff. I actually told my staff I never ever talk about their wages or I ever heard them if I fired them right on the spot. Because of the problem that solves, if I want to reward somebody for their effort, that's between me and them. And so that's why I always told my staff, don't let me hear you talking about your wages. Right? Some people are worth more. They're given more responsibility, so they deserve more pay. Right? And, you know, I have part-time employees and full-time employees, and, you know, if you're a part-time employee, you get benefits. You know, you get part-time benefits based on you, because you're only working part-time hours.
Now, I think of that in the spirit. I said, if you want your wages, well, the wages of sin are death. So I think I'll pass on a paycheck in that area. Thanks very much.
And then full-time employees, they get full-time benefits. So, you know, that's the way the workplace goes, right? Not too many benefits out there today, though, whether you're working full-time or part-time. You'd be cutting your benefits. They want more work out of you, less pay, and less benefits. Isn't that what's happening? Companies can't afford it. Just the way things are going. So you're still doing the same work, probably doing more work because you got less employees because they can't afford to have that many employees, and you got less benefits. So you're doing more work, making less money with less benefits. Well, I tell you, that doesn't sound like a very forward thing.
Tell me that hasn't happened over the 11 years.
People losing their jobs left, right, and center.
Yep.
Left, right, and center, and we've only seen the beginning of it. It's only going to get worse. I don't have to tell you that. You can see that yourself.
Yeah.
You see it on the news. You can see it happen. It's happening to you. You listen to this tape, you could have just lost your job.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm saying. The point of this is that when you work full-time, you get full-time benefits. When you work part-time, you get part-time benefits.
Yeah.
Well, you see, God is a full-time God. Okay? He's awake when you're asleep.
Yep.
You can't outwork God. Okay? That's just a given. You just can't outwork God. He's always moving. Hopefully, he keeps everything operating. Keeps the planet turning, keeps the sun and the moon doing their thing, and the rain. He's in control of all that. He doesn't go to sleep. He's full-time God. The question to you is, are you a full-time believer or are you a part-time believer?
When he talked about the rain, he's in control of that. So you believers out there that are going out there hugging trees and worry about the environment, you need to read the book. Why you're out there protecting the environment when he's the one that's in control of it, and he tells us he's going to burn this planet to a crisp in the end. So you don't know this. You're out there, they've got you distracted and focused in areas that you shouldn't be focused in because God controls the climate. Thank you very much. And the reason it's changing is because he said it would.
See, if you only call upon God when you need you, if you're a believer and you call upon God only when he needs you, he'll help you. but that's your only benefit.
Yep.
You see, with God, He's full-time God. So if you're a part-time believer, then you get part-time benefits. You only get benefits part of the time.
Yep.
If you're a full-time believer, you get those benefits all the time.
Your choice.
And you don't have to do anything for Him. You just have to decide that you're going to be a full-time believer. That you're going to be with Him. He's going to be with you all the time. Then you have the benefits all the time.
Make a decision for yourself.
But if you're only a part-time believer, if you're only a weekend Christian or something, how many benefits do you think you're going to get? You're going to miss out on a whole lot of stuff that happens through the week that He has to offer, and you're just not part of it.
And you probably got to go through a whole lot of stuff you don't need to.
You'll survive. You'll know He's there. You'll have understanding. But you're not getting all the benefits that He has for you.
And you don't
You
act
see, they're
like
free.
through
Free
the week
upon
like
asking,
you
but
act
have
like
to
you
be
do in
His will.
church.
And there's nothing wrong with being in His will. It's fun being in His will. That's the ironic thing about it. Is that you're a part-time believer, you're doing that on your own choice. You're eliminating. What's the word I'm looking for?
Blessings.
You're eliminating blessings.
There
in
you
your
go.
life. You are eliminating blessings of God in your life.
Yeah.
God's not doing it.
Nope.
You are. If you're not getting blessings, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Not God's. God gives blessings all the time.
Yeah.
Depends on if you're connected with Him all the time or not. He never leaves us or forsakes us. When we're away from Him, it's because we've left Him.
That's right.
If you're only working part-time, you're only showing up at certain times. That means He's got more time to give me more blessings because the time you're not taking up, He can spend that on me. He spends it on everybody. But you understand what I'm saying? So you have access to the benefits full-time.
Yep.
Full-time, your choice.
Part-time could be considered lukewarm, where He says, I will spew you out of my mouth.
You can take them with you all the time. And if you don't take them with all the time, that's when you run into problems where you need to call on them part-time. You see, if you're only part-time, that means that when you're not with Him, you are open to have things come at you. And you have no defense against them. You can try and handle them on your own, and you end up turning to God, and then you come to Him, and He helps you, and then what you do, you go back to a part-time believer.
Yeah, take them for
You
granted.
see? That's what happens.
Yeah, take them for granted.
When the choice is yours to have the benefits full-time. He wants to give them full-time. He's working. Make any difference to Him. He's working anyway. He's awake. He's going. You're not inconveniencing God
Nope, not at all.
by calling upon Him full-time.
Nope.
He wants you to keep Him busy. Gives Him something to do. He wants something to do. He wants to be doing something all the time for you. Just like He does for me. You can have it too. You could be doing what I'm doing if you're willing. I'm no different than you. I'm just willing. I say I'm a full-time believer. I'm driving down the road. I'm working. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. He's always there.
Yep.
We have great conversations. Great conversations. Great knowledge and stuff He puts in. Great analogies. I run into problems at work. He helps me take care of them.
Yeah.
I look at it, analyze it, and say, how do we figure this out? And then all of a sudden it comes, the answer comes.
Yeah.
That's where my qualifications come. I depend on Him to give me the answers. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is something I've done before, that I'm experienced at it, but I got that experience initially from Him.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting blessings all the time, you're going through trials and troubles, that's you. That's not Him. That's not Him. You've moved away from Him, or you're not turning it over to Him. Or you don't know how. That's probably what's happening. That's probably what's happening. You don't know how. You're learning on. If you listen to these tapes, you're learning. You're learning a ton of stuff that you never knew before. And it's all up to you whether you take advantage of it as free advice. All you have to do is put it into play. All up to you.
Free advice can be very costly. Right? But this advice, You can do what you're supposed to do. Prove it in His Word. And I put that challenge out to especially people who teach. If you can show me in the King James Bible with what's coming out of my mouth is not true, you are obligated to do so. So if you think you can prove what I'm saying is not true, I expect the comment section. Easy to say, oh, that ain't right. Prove it. Because I can certainly prove a lot of stuff that you teach that book says is not true.
Always say that on my tape. It comes down to choice. What are you choosing in your life? You're getting what you're choosing. Whatever you're choosing in your life is what you're getting. So if you're running into Neapolitan stuff, those are things you're choosing. Because your actions are bringing them forth.
Yep.
You see, God wants to change how you act so you don't bring those kinds of things forth.
Change your perspective.
Right? Stop trying to handle everything. Let Him handle it. Because the more we try and handle our situations, the more trouble we get into. Okay? Because the stuff we have to deal with today in this world, boys, I'll tell you, if you don't have help, man, I don't know how you're doing it. I really don't. I couldn't. I wouldn't want to be around here if it wasn't for Him. He's the only thing that keeps us sane. Knowing His purpose, knowing what's coming, knowing what's going on, knowing what the picture is, knowing what the plan is, knowing what the purpose is. But you don't know these things unless you make a choice to find out. And the only one holding you back is you. And you operate on a full-time basis, you operate on a part-time basis. You know, you pass somebody through, you go to church on the weekend, through the week, if you see somebody broke down, do you stop and help them, or you just let it go by? Or do you wait till Sunday afternoon when you come out of church and you're feeling all happy and everything like that, and then you see somebody, oh, I'll help them today. It's the Lord's Day. I'll help them because it's the Lord's Day. Well, every day is the Lord's Day. So you should be doing that every day. Because it goes back to the other thing. If you don't give it out, you're not getting it.
That's right.
Plain and simple. You cannot receive what you do not give.
That's right.
You can get that principle into your mind. That applies to everything. And then watch what you give, because what you give is what you get.
That's right.
Works both ways.
That's
good,
right.
Excuse me, good and bad.
That's right.
You see, but it's all you. It's all you and me. We have full control of what happens. It's by our choices that we make. Now, I'm not saying all the choices are easy.
Never said it
Most
would be.
times, the best choices are the hardest choices.
No.
But the results are worth it. Because if you go the other way, the results, they don't fix the problem.
They don't work.
You're still dealing with it. The more you learn how God works and what He wants, and you learn that the stuff that you've been taught is a bunch of lies, that God is a very simple process. Very simple. It's not difficult. It's not hard to understand. It's only made that way because man's interpretation of it and what they've been teaching.
Man has intellectualized God's Word, where you have these so-called scholars who are saying, they have more privileged knowledge than you and I do. Now, I'm not saying there's historians and people who have researched Scripture. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about those people who act like they read that word and they interpret it with their own mind. God's not even involved in the interpretation of the Scriptures. And that's why they can't see. They're blind. You see, Bible stories and history lessons are all they're teaching, and they're good to know. They're important to know, the Bible stories and history lessons. But there's deeper things that God wants you to know so that you can live in this world. We're in a spiritual war in this world, and if you're not in tune to that, you're caught up in it and you don't even know it. And it's going to be devastating, especially if you don't know you're involved in it. That's why He gives us the armor of God in Ephesians 6, to fight these spiritual wars that we are involved in these days. Let's carry on.
And when I say these things, I don't mean everybody, but I'll tell you, it's probably most. Because I've been to a lot of churches and they're pretty dry. They're pretty dry.
Yep.
It's just like everybody's playing church.
No water or life in there.
I'm doing my thing. I'm going to church, and I'm okay. It makes me a good Christian. I'm not saying that you're not good people. I'm not saying that.
Nope.
I'm saying is that you're not learning and God's not revealing things to you because you're depending on somebody else. It's not up to your minister, your pastor, your priest, or whoever. It's not up to them to teach you the Word of God. That's not their responsibility.
Nope.
Your responsibility is to find those things out for yourself, individually.
He says in this day, most of this day are what's referred to as the Laodicean church. And that's a church. Church is us, not the building. But they call themselves the church, the building. But he's talking about the church. Laodicean, you have turned to another gospel. You have left your first love. If you're Laodicean, you better wake up and stop following that crowd and get on that narrow road before it's too late, because you'll be held you're going to be held more accountable than somebody who doesn't even know God. Because God says, he makes a statement, he says, you're better to have never known me than to have known me and turned away. That is aimed at the children of God. That is aimed at the Laodicean church. That is not aimed at sinners, because they haven't been to him yet, so how can they possibly turn away from him? That is aimed at people who were to him and have turned away. You're Laodicean, you followed another gospel, you've left your first love. So I hope you wake up soon.
You can put that on them. And see, by not putting it on another man, learning yourself, you can't be deceived. He says, let no man deceive you.
That's right.
That's what he says. Now, he says that because he knows if you follow a man,
Or an
you could end
institution.
up under a deception.
Right.
That's why he says that.
Yeah. You can
So
see it
don't
everywhere.
follow the word of another man. Don't take my word for it. I'm telling you the truth, but that's not enough. You have to know these things for yourself. You have to know what I'm telling you is true. You have to experience. You have to know it in your heart so that you can live that way. And then you can share it with people. He'll give you the abilities if that's what he wants you to do. You don't have to worry about how you're going to do things.
Nope.
When he's doing it, you don't have to worry about how you're going to do things. You have to sort of just be aware, watch, be the vehicle, and make it happen. He opens the door, declares the way.
Remember, he doesn't choose the qualified. He qualifies those that are chosen. All you got to do is answer the call, and he will qualify you.
But you won't know these things unless you know his word. Unless you know his promises. See, you don't know these things. I'm not telling you anything that you can't find out. I'm just trying to get you to that point where you will find out. Oh, I did a tape earlier on. What did I do that on? Oh no, I redid that. Yeah, a tape I cut off. I ran out of time and I just said bye. I thought I should do that like that, so I asked him if we could do it over again, and we did it over again, so I don't have to worry about that.
The only one I ever did over again. The only one.
Time runs out fast when it gets going here. To keep looking at the recorder. See, I'm trying to record these so that they go on the web radio.
You know, I have never, ever edited one of my messages. I go back and I listen to them to make sure that I'm not involved in the conversation, that this is coming through from him, from the truth. And once I see I'm not involved in it, I release it. But I never edit it to make it sound different. I give it to you the way I get it.
And they can only be a certain length. Otherwise, they can't go on. They can only go on the site. And you have to pull them down or send them to you, right? But if they go on the radio, then you can hear them on the radio. So that's why I try and keep to the time limit whenever I can. He usually reminds me.
Yep, he does. Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
that's just an example of how he works.
Yeah.
And I can't express to you enough. You need to be a full-time. You need to be a full-time believer in order so that you can have the full benefits full-time. And the full-time benefits you're getting full-time. See, the other way, you're only getting part-time benefits part-time. I mean, that's the worst of the worst. You're part-time benefits, and you're only getting those part-time.
Yeah.
When you're full-time, you're getting full-time benefits
All the time.
all the time. Oh, what was it? What was it?
Now, benefits aren't always financial and physical. Okay? The benefits are having a peace within you, especially in 2025 with the craziness that's going on everywhere. Are you getting anxiety? Are you starting to panic about your future? Are you starting to worry about how you're going to feed your family? Or you may lose your job? Are you worrying about the thousands of things that are out there that you could choose to worry about? Or do you have that peace in your heart knowing that you don't have anything to worry about no matter what happens? He will provide and protect his children, those who believe in him, those that accept to be chosen, answering the call.
It's so simple. Aren't they so simple? The truth is so simple.
Yeah, it is.
I said God never made it difficult. He made it for everybody to understand. You just have to come and find out for yourself. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about somebody else.
There's a lot he can add to this here. Because when it comes to that word, these new easier to understand Bibles that they have, understand this. I've known people who have learned to read by picking up the Bible. And here's a question that God has for those people who think it's necessary to translate the Bible into easier to understand language. Because the more they translate it into easier to understand language, pretty soon you're not going to have a clue what you're reading. And here's a statement that God wants to make. He says, what would make you think that he, knowing how much we need that word, without it we don't have anything, any weaponry, knowing how much we need it, what would ever make you think that he would put that in a book that you couldn't understand? Does that make any sense to you at all? See, my God, my Father, he doesn't play games like that. Not when you're talking about people's salvation and understanding the truth. He does not play games. That's why I referred to another tape. There's only one way to find out what's not written on those pages, and the key is in another message that I did in another video. And it's titled The Key to the Word. And how to find out what's not written on that page. But if you're going to give these understanding, you're not getting it. That's a revealed word of God. You can hear Bibles and stories and history lessons out of the mouth of a man. Okay? But you can only hear what's not written on the page if that man is allowing the Spirit of God to use him to speak, which is exactly what those people are supposed to be doing. They are not supposed to be teaching you the Word of God. That is his responsibility, and he is quite capable of handling his own affairs. And how people have fallen into deception over the thousands of years is they are listening to a man teach them, and they're not even picking up that book to see whether or not that's what God's saying in that word that man is speaking. He says, let no man deceive you, and that's exactly how it's happening, because I see it every time I walk into one of these buildings. Most people don't even have a Bible with them anymore. That's how crazy it is.
You can only save yourself. You can't save anybody else. How are you going to save anybody? You can't even save yourself. How am I going to save anybody? I'm trying to keep myself straight enough to save you. See, you can only take care of you. Right? Your relationship with him is personal. Nothing to do with me. Mine's got nothing to do with you. But you need to understand that you have such a control. You are in control. I'm just trying to edify you, and I'm trying to empower you. That's what he's trying to do for me. He's trying to empower you with truth and knowledge. And once you grab a hold of it, you'll see, man, that is powerful knowledge. That changes everything. I can see where I can do things that I never thought were possible.
Yeah.
You know, and that I don't have to worry about the things that I always thought I had to worry about. You know, it sounds too good to be true, but believe you me, it's true. It's true. There's many people out there who live like this and know the truth. And they try and share it with people because they know, just like me, that it's no good kept with us. We have to share this so that everybody can benefit. And you will do the same too. When you get excited, you see him working, you're too excited not to tell somebody, say, man, look what happened. Look how he did that. I just had faith in him. And, you know, I said, put him to the test. Find out what his promises are. Put him to the test.
Yeah.
And he comes through. And the more he comes through, the stronger your belief comes. Until you come to the point like, why would I doubt? I got so many examples in my life.
He's just waiting for an opportunity to prove himself in your life. Just waiting. It's up to you.
And I know it wasn't me. He's proven himself. Yeah. That's what I want. Yeah, I want those provisions, those protections. I want that relationship with him. Personal relationship. You can talk to him about anything. Anything. And he'll communicate back to you, believe me, in one way or another. I don't know how he'll communicate with you. He does it in different ways with different people. But if you get your eyes open and you start getting the answers to questions you ask, he will say, oh, geez, where'd that come from? Don't worry about where it came from or how it came. They'll give you discernment to know whether it's coming from him or whether it's coming from Satan or not. Right? You'll know. If it's good, it's usually from him. But if it's not, it's from Satan. This is pretty clear cut. Your discernment that he'll give you. Discernment is a way of knowing when you're hearing truth and when you're hearing untruth.
Right.
You'll just know. You don't want to understand possibly, but you'll know. Something will stir in you. You say, I don't know. Don't know exactly what it is, but there's something not quite right about that. And then you'll know just to either back away and be cautious about it and just see what happens. And normally it'll unfold and you'll see what was going on. Rather than jumping into 2 feet and hoping that you make it. That's not a good plan. It all comes down to you. It all comes down to you. You just need to call upon him. If you don't know about how to do some of this stuff, okay, okay, well, how do I start? How do I start to have a relationship with God? Okay? And maybe down the road he'll get me to do a tape on that. But in the meantime, if you've got questions, you can email us. I say this in quite a few tapes,
I have put out some videos for beginners about how to approach the word and different things. So I already have a couple of videos out there if you're just new and how to come along and how to approach the book. Okay, so there are some there for you.
You can contact us. Okay, and we'll do what we can. We're just beginning this. This ministry. My first speaking publicly in this ministry happened on June the 27th, this year, 2014. It was just the other day, okay? Friday night was the first time that I spoke in front of people. Now, that's going to end up on YouTube of what I spoke there, okay? And that's like an overview of a lot of points. I haven't seen it yet myself, so I haven't released it yet because I need to watch that to make sure that I didn't get myself in there and say something that I shouldn't have said, and that might have to come out of there, right? But normally everything, all these tapes, these are unedited. I don't edit these tapes. I haven't had to edit one of these tapes.
That first time I spoke was an hour and 39 minutes or something like that, and it was covered by an internet TV station. I had no idea it was going to happen. I thought I was just going to go in first time, speak to a bunch of friends, and here it was going around the world on YouTube. And I haven't found it yet. I'm not sure what site it was on. I haven't been able to find it. But if I ever find it, I'll put it back up. I'll put it up on the site for you to see it. And that was the first. And we said, my brother was involved at that time. And we said a lot of things that happened. Yeah, a lot of stuff on that tape we said back then. And it actually has already transpired on the world. So I'll try and find that for the future.
When I'm standing here with my fire with him. Okay, but the video thing was a different thing. That was quite an experience, actually. It was quite an experience, especially when I found out that it was being filmed for YouTube. I mean, that was I knew I was speaking to the world. So amazing points. But that's why I have to listen to it again because of the impact that it can have. But anyway, that's how new this ministry is. And he's been downloading stuff into me. I think I must have about 30 recordings now since then. And he's just pouring it out and pouring it out and pouring it out. He had this thing so ready for me to walk into. It's unbelievable
Yeah.
how he has this ministry put together with the backing and everything that's needed for him. See, he's in control. He set it all in place before he opened the door for me. And now this thing is just taken off. So let's understand, there's only actually 3 people actually that are committed to this right now. There's myself, my brother, and there's a good friend of mine, and he's on board. But there's other people that are interested, and we're just bringing them along, and we're seeing where they're at, and the people that are involved in this ministry, they have to. I'm the leader of this ministry. I'm the one that the Lord's speaking through, so I have to protect this ministry. And the people that are into this ministry need to know. First of all, they need to listen to what I'm saying, the tapes. and they need to have a belief in what we're talking about here. This is not a game, okay? This is not a game. So the people being involved in this have to understand that God is in full control of this, and understand the messages that are being put out and why they're being put out. Okay, we can't just put somebody in this ministry because we like them. They have to have a passion, they have to have an understanding, and they have to be willing to do what it's going to take in order to fulfill what he wants us to do for him. So we're going to be very, very cautious as to how this put together. We're going to listen to him. He's going to put it together. He already has the people. I know that.
So this was an original ministry that I was teamed up with my brother. He has his own ministry, and that was quite a few years ago. So when it's referring to that ministry, that's different than this one here. Same topic, same truth, right? We were just under a different format and stuff, and he's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing.
He's already there's a few more people that I have in mind, and I've talked to them, and I told them that I feel that you're supposed to be part of this ministry, and I know that because of the relationship that he has shown me in that person. The person doesn't even know. God's just he draws people to me, and then he points them out. And then now this person, he has to listen to the tapes, and I've told him, I said, I believe that you're supposed to be part of this, but you have to listen to these things. You have to be full on board with what is being taught. Because you have to be in this. This is too powerful. This is too important. These messages are too serious for somebody just to be going for the ride. So anyway, so this is how we're putting this together, or how he's putting it together. It's slow, but we know that we can offer the help because we know that he'll help us and provide us to give you that assistance, okay? You just need to be patient, if you know, because, I mean, we already have emails coming in, and so there's, we are still working. I'll be doing this ministry full time in the future. I can see that coming, and it'll be in his time. And when it is then, I'll be busy all day doing emails and doing and searching out and finding answers for people and blah 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 and leading you along, and that's all coming. So I'm telling you this so that you can so you understand that we understand the seriousness of the responsibility that we're accepting from him. Because we know, we're telling you that you are looking for some truth, and you need to be able to count on us. We're not perfect people. Don't think that we're saints or anything like that. We're not perfect people. We do things too. Okay? We make mistakes and errors too, right? But we're under his correction. Okay? And it's nothing that would affect what the teaching is. You see, you need to take the teaching. You don't look at me. It's got nothing to do with me. Don't look at me as to whether or not this teaching is credible. Take this teaching and take it on its own merits.
That's right.
Learn his promises and put them to the test so he can prove himself to you. You know, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just the vehicle for him to give you this information through because I'm willing. And he's what he's looking for. He's looking for people who are willing so that he can use them in order to get his purposes done. Okay, so I'm telling you this so that you can, I hope, but he give you some confidence in what this is, and that if you decide to support it, I mean, you can contact us. We don't expect money. We don't accept money from just anybody, because nothing is going to be influencing this except for him.
Remember, that's talking about another ministry, right? And I don't ask you for anything either. If I ever need anything, I'll let you know. But if you got something to give away, give it to somebody in your area that needs it, and do it in private. Because God says what you do in secret, he will reward openly. So true charity is done when the only person that knows is the person receiving it and him.
You see, and we know that the temptations that are out there and the things that will come after, and he's made us fully aware to be on it with our discernment, to be very aware. Because we know Satan is not going to like this. He's going to fight this. He's going to battle this ministry the best way he can. Okay? Because this ministry is not to his benefit.
No.
When you learn these truths and how they empower you, he knows he's got no chance.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm not going into this naive. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. But I'm not blind as to what we're doing here.
No.
And we are bucking the system. So anyways, I'm running out of time again. Take this to heart. Listen to it over again. You have questions, you can contact us. Okay? And just learn about him. Get into his word. Let him show you. Okay? Let him show you the truth. Not religion, okay? His truth. That's what you're hearing here. Okay? So, like I say, God bless you. Find out for yourself. Know why you believe what you believe. Okay? That's so important. And especially when you have full access to it. Find out why you believe what you believe. So when you can talk freely about it. Because you'll know. You know, you get trained in your job. You can talk about it. You know you're trained. You know how it works. Well, it's the same thing with him. He'll teach you those things too. And you'll feel confident in him, knowing. But remember, if you're full-time, benefits are full-time. If you're part-time, part-time. God bless you.
So, there you go. Now, don't have to add too much to that message either, like the last one at the end. But I will say this, that like, share, subscribe. Those are important to get the message out. Like I said, it's not about me. It's about getting these messages out, and I guess that's the way the algorithm works, right? And comments. I am interested in all comments. The good ones, sure, they're nice to know that it's getting through to you, but I really want those with the questions that don't believe. Give me the opportunity to give you some clarity on those questions that you're not getting answered anywhere. That's all I ask, okay? And then once I give you the answer, then you can decide on yourself whether that makes sense. Because the answer I'm going to give you is from His Word, and it will make sense. But if you don't get your questions answered, that's not going to be the excuse in the end. Get your questions answered so you get clarity, and so that you can enjoy some of the things that your Creator set up for you that this world has taken from you. So with that, as I always say, I hope you and your family are walking under the wings of His protection and His provision. And until next time, God bless you.